West War Room Rivals is sponsored by Emporia State Federal Credit Union. Learn more at esfcu.com. Text or call the number 620-342-2336 to get started today. ESFCU is the Shovix banking of choice, federally insured by the NCUA. This episode of West War Room Rivals is brought to you by JBW Solutions Industrial Safety Services, your remote safety partner no matter where work takes you. From the job site to the office, JBW Solutions brings OSHA 10 and 30 training, plus a full lineup of compliance services straight to your screen. Whether you're a small crew or a major operation, they make safety simple, accessible, and effective. Visit jbwsolutionsllc.com to learn more today and stay compliant wherever you are. West War Room Rivals is sponsored by Field Ops. Kansas sports fields just got an upgrade with Field Ops. Looking to reserve top quality sports fields in Kansas? Whether you're organizing youth tournaments, adult leagues, or weekend pickup games, Field Ops is your go-to platform for discovering and booking the best athletic fields across the state. Instant online reservations, detailed field info such as locations, amenities, and photos. Field Ops is also trusted by coaches, organizers, and athletes. From Wichita to Overland Park, Field Ops has got you covered with real-time availability and streamlined scheduling. Get in the game at gofieldops.com/Kansas-KS. That's gofieldops.com/Kansas-KS. Welcome to West War Room Rivals, everybody. I am your co-host, Cody. We are going to do a quick roll call that is brought to you by Spy Optic, where you guys can use the promo code Orange20 to get 20% off your glasses by Spy Optic. So, Shovik Brothers, kick us off with a roll call.
Yep, I am Austin, co-host, representing the Chiefs.
I'm Corey, representing the Broncos.
I'm Matt, also representing the Broncos.
And of course, as I said, this is Cody representing Raider Nation for the War Room. You guys, we have a special guest today, but before we get started, we do want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, JBW Solutions, veteran-owned, service-focused, and safety committed. So we want to thank them for being our big sponsors, and also thank our other ones, Emporia State Federal Credit Union, as well as Field Op Kansas. So tonight, you guys, we are joined by a former NFL player, now MMA fighter, Alex A.J. Johnson. He was second team All-SEC in 2012 and first team All-SEC 2013. So you guys, please welcome our special guest, former Broncos linebacker, A.J. Johnson. Welcome to the show, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good, man. Thanks for the introduction, but I'm gonna have to switch it up a little bit. Alexander A.J. Johnson. And still current. I missed last season due to injury, but I've been in communication with a few teams, so I'm still on the hunt. Still on the hunt to get me a job this year. So
there you go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey. I just did the MMA fight just to show teams I'm healthy and shape, and I'm still ready to hunt.
You know what? Yeah, man. You know what? We have some questions to kick off, but I do want to acknowledge, man, you've been posting a bunch of workout videos on your social channels that we've been trying to share. Dude, you're looking like a beast nowadays. So any team that gets you, by the way, my Raiders are looking for a player nowadays. So, you know, hopefully bring you on to the dark side. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Hey, I'm about to say, anybody who want to give me a job, I'm ready to go.
All right, here we go.
I'm the defensive fan out of all of us here, so if he wants to go to anywhere, let's go to KC. All right. Let's win some rain. Let's get some physical play going on.
Corey and I still miss you in the orange and blue, so you're always welcome back in the orange and blue. We want you back.
I can't say it's nothing like being a Broncos. I can truly say that. Yeah. It's nothing like being a Broncos.
No.
Colorado, now high, it's nothing like it.
But AJ, everybody looks good in black, man. We got to get you in the silver and black, my friend. All right, so let's quickly dive in here. We're going to start off with, ironically, being a part of your career when you were with the Broncos, specifically when you played for Vic Fangio. Obviously, one of the best defensive minds in terms of football to date. So the first question is, what was it like playing for a coach like Vic Fangio and the defensive mindset that you have had under his stewardship?
First thing that popped up to my head is callous. Y'all know what that is. Y'all know what callous is.
Oh, yeah.
I love that old school mindset where, like, man, we here to work. It ain't no, like, lovey-dovey type of stuff, man. Get your job done, handle your business, and play ball. So So I actually love that about Coach Fangio, and obviously just being under his defense and the mindset he had. Like, man, when I tell you, like, we'll go to different places, we're like, oh man, we used to do this, we used to do this. Like, you have like in one play, if somebody's lined up in this position, oh, we're gonna run this coverage. If somebody lined up over here, we're gonna run this coverage. So you got to be on top of your game plan under Coach Fangio, which was a blessing to be able to play under.
Yeah, I mean, during your time with him, you recorded 93 tackles in 2029, and then also 124 in 2020. So I mean, whatever he was teaching and preaching, you definitely were executing and laying the wood down on a lot of players. So.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like you said, man, I was just happy to be able to get my opportunity. So also, Coach Fangio came in. I wasn't starting the first 5 games. I was the special teams, and I was like, man, like I'm ready, coach. And I was like I'm ready to go. Like I know. Like it's funny. Once I got there, I told a few guys, man, I know I'm one of the best players in the league. Man. I just need that opportunity to start playing.
Yeah.
And also got my opportunity 5 games into the season. And sure enough, I would never forget. A few guys came up to me. He was like, "Hey, bro, you wasn't lying at your first game." Because, I had a pretty dope first game, my first game starting.
Yeah.
Guys came like, "Oh, you wasn't lying talking about you won the best linebacker." I was like, "Man, you got to speak about what you believe about it and put a stamp on it." So that was pretty dope. You put a stamp on my first starting game.
Yeah, and you already mentioned that you're kind of one of those tough nose kind of. That's what you liked about Vic Fangio. So what I want to know, I'm a fan of the downhill kind of physical play. So I want to know, is there a player in the AFC West that you couldn't just wait to hit?
You said the AFC West?
Yeah.
Well, I can't say going against the Raiders. I'm assuming it's not AFC West. Going against the Raiders was always pretty dope, just because obviously Jacobs ran the ball hard. And then one thing I loved about playing against the Raiders was their offensive linemen. They're gonna bring it because I like talking trash when I'm on the field, and like I say some stuff, but if people don't really say nothing back, I ain't gonna be like directing to nobody. But if somebody's talking back, I like talking back too. So you bring a little more morale to the game. But the Raiders offensive lineman, man, you had a Big Gabe was one, and then it was 2 other guys who was gonna bring it, and I was like, oh, I love that because. Once you bring it to somebody a couple times, they start shying away, and then after that, it's like, oh, I'm just flowing through the game. Like I ain't worried about you barely touching, because they nervous about me bringing it to them. But one thing I can say is their offensive linemen, Raiders offensive linemen, they gonna bring it right back, which I love it. So that's pretty dope. Always playing against them, you better put your hard hat on.
Yeah, we all love hitting the Raiders and hating on the Raiders, so we like that answer.
It's all right. We love it.
It's great when you can do both at the same time, But so you came into the league in 2018, and you originally started out practice squad, special teams, and then worked your way into a starting role. Your story is kind of one where you turned obstacles into success. So what was your mentality like going through all of this?
Man, like you said, man, my story is very unique. It's different from most. Like, I still haven't seen nobody who had a story like mine. Like, offline, I've seen people have similar stories, but not being able to do what I did. Like, obviously, being called one of the worst names you can ever be called, having to sit out 4 years of football, and then I get my opportunity 4 years later to get signed with the Broncos. Then I had to sit for a whole year of not playing. That right there was probably one of the toughest things, like still to this day, when I set out from football for 4 years, and then I get to football, and it's like I'm right there, like on the team. I'm with the guys practicing, but I'm not able to get on the field and show what I can do. That right there was probably one of the toughest things for me, was just not being able to do what I can do. And then obviously once I got my opportunity, I showed what I can do. So that's one of the biggest things I tell a lot of young guys and people in general. You never know when your opportunity is going to come. When it comes, take full advantage of it, because it can come once, it can never come. But when it do come, take full advantage of it. So that's one thing I know I did. I took full advantage of my opportunity when I was able to get on that field and show what I can do.
Yeah, you did.
And it's like, I know my name go under the radar a lot, but which I don't feel on Broadway. Like I'm fine about that. It's just, I know what type of player I am. I know what I can do when I get on that field. But like, man, I was projected to be number 1 linebacker coming out the draft in 2014. I was top player to be able to get top player on the bucket Warriors list, which like right there is like Super Bowl for linebackers. If y'all know
Yeah.
Reggie Ward, Super Bowl for linebackers. So I was one of those guys, and then it just slowly it diminished, and then I got that opportunity to show like, oh yeah, I'm that guy still, and then injuries and stuff rolled in and stuff like that. So it's part of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely brought it because you were the Pro Football Focus. You were the top 4 linebackers on their list. So I mean, that's saying something.
Oh yeah, that right there, that's just pretty dope. You getting recognition about you top like I ain't gonna forget him like a #1 run stopper in the league, and then obviously when you #1 run stopper in the league, people gonna be like, oh, you can't cover, you can't do that. So turn around and show, hey, I'm top 5 cover linebacker, top 5 off ball cover linebacker, and it's really about just being in position, like with Coach Fangio defense, man. You be in the right position, you line up in the right spot, then you'll be able to fall into plays and make plays where you're supposed to make plays, and then obviously you covering your gaps, covering his gap, and then you go ball out and make other plays. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So you had Broncos country. Matt and I, of course, part of that. We love the energy you brought. So explain to us what it was like playing in front of the Broncos country in Denver. Those times, and then was there another place maybe outside of Denver that you enjoyed playing?
So I can't say just me being involved. I still haven't been close. It's some stadiums close to Ball Nation, but when I first got to Denver and went under those lights, it gave me a little sensation of being back in Ball Nation. And it's like the energy there with the Broncos fans, the passion, and like you just walking through the tailgate, like shoot, it was. I remember when I was after when I went injured, then when I got injured with them, I'll be going through tailgates, just hanging out with the fans, talking with them, signing autographs, and it's like it shows so much love there, which everybody loves having love shown to them. Like it just uplifts you, and then you can uplift other people. So that's pretty dope. And, the Broncos Nation is definitely one of the top places I ever played. But to speak on another NFL team that I would say would have some crazy energy, where it's like, oh shoot, I understand why they call them the 12.
Yeah.
So that right there was like pretty dope. When I didn't get to play in the stadium, at Luma Stadium. I got to play in 2 away games with them, but I didn't have the opportunity to play underneath with the 12. But just sitting on the sideline for some games and seeing like how they really make teams jump offside, like. They be yelling so loud that people just jumping outside because they can't hear. And I'm like, all right, that's why they call them 12, because seeing it in person makes it more reality when you're like, oh, they're really the 12.
Yeah.
So we did have Carl Pickens on a couple of weeks ago, volunteer, obviously Tennessee alum, and he talked about that atmosphere in Tennessee. So it's all what it's cracked out to be. Like he was absolutely in love with talking to us about Tennessee. Did you kind of have that same experience with the crowd?
Oh yeah, every bit of it. Like obviously, I seen me when I was in with the Broncos, and the energy and passion I play with. That's one thing I know set me apart. Is like, man, like ever since I was 5 years old, making it to the NFL was my #1 goal. That's what I worked for my whole life, and I love playing football. Like I just genuinely love playing football. Like I just love playing it. Like it brings so much joy, and I love being on the field competing. So I play with a lot of passion when I'm out there. And it's funny, I had a few people come up to me, it was like, man, I haven't seen too many people get the attention of Broncos fans. It's like how quick you have. Obviously, it's quite a few other players that done, but it was like, man, you getting the attention of the fans pretty well. And I can't say just my energy I bring in. Then children, fans, adults, they love the Dino celebration, which that was pretty dope. And I didn't expect it to blow up how it did, and it sure enough blew up how it did. So I ran with it, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take on the personality with Dino, and it full circle because it's like somewhat like real life, because I set out for football for 4 years and didn't play, and then I come and do a dinosaur dance, and it's like, well, dinosaurs are still alive. I came back alive.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
And then saying welcome to Jurassic Park. I got to visit all the the museums of dinosaurs, all the museums for the dinosaur, like Dinosaur Ridge. Got to visit that museum quite a few times and then did like a news feed with them. So that was dope. Is being able to do that and bring the persona of the I know celebration into real life and being out there where a lot of dinosaurs was discovered.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna transition on to our next segment. We have one kind of MMA / NFL question that we want to ask you. And you've been dabbling a little bit in the mixed martial arts world and everything, right? And that's how you've been staying in shape, letting teams know you're ready. Shout out to, let's make sure we get that out there. But
Absolutely.
We want to know, how does training for the MMA compare to training for the NFL?
Man, training MMA and just fight that's what I've been doing every offseason. I train just to keep a little more in shape, and it correlates so much. So I really noticed how good MMA training correlate from when I wasn't playing ball for those 4 years. I actually was preparing myself to get ready for a fight. Obviously, something happened, incident happened, so I didn't do the fight. So by that time, I ended up getting picked up by the Broncos, and I forgot which coach it was, but a coach came up to me. He's like, "Man, when you punch these offensive linemen, it feels like you're punching their soul out their head because their heads be shaking and rolling." And I was like, "Man," and I didn't really think about 2 and 2, and it feels like effortless almost. But it was just the fight training from correlating your energy, the energy from the ground to your hands, translates so much. Where if you step in with your punches and time it up just right, you get so much energy, and it's like almost effortless. So that right there in itself helped my striking tremendously. Just me jumping back into the ball where I've been striking for a long time. Now I get to strike somebody 300 pounds and make it look effortless while I'm doing it. So that right there was probably one of the biggest things I say correlated from fighting to football. And then obviously being in shape, like it just conditioning is crazy. So obviously I had my pro MMA fight like 4 months ago. And the first thing after the fight, I told my mom, I said, "Boy," I cleaned my ass off. And after 33 seconds, I was like, "Oh, I can't breathe." So being in an MMA fight compared to playing football, it's like a piece of cake. I promise you, like it's a cake. Because man, 15 minutes straight. Somebody coming at you, you got to come at somebody. It's a total different world, boy. Total different world.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Transitioning a little bit to reflecting on your career up to right now, of course, because again, we're going to get on another team, of course, upcoming for sure. We're going to put that into the universe right now. What quarterback in today's game would you like to lay the wood down on, when they're coming across or they're, you see them come in, maybe they're thinking they're going to scramble for, that first down. Who's a quarterback you're looking to put a hit on?
Let's add me into that. If there were no rules and you could just hit somebody, quarterback, who would it be?
Man, that's a good question, man. Oh man, I don't really know. It literally anybody I'm trying to. If I'm getting to you, like one thing I tell people is like, because I have a very low rating of missing tackles. I really don't miss tackles, and it's like if I'm gonna bust my tail to get to the ball and I don't get you down, it's like what I'm busting my tail to get to the ball and not getting you down. It's a waste of my time you trying to get to you if I ain't gonna get you down. But to spin off from that question, one player I wish I could have played against. Y'all take a guess. Is a running back. Y'all can take a guess. Running back.
Derrick Henry?
No, I played against him. I've been playing against him.
Ooh, I wonder if. No. I wonder if you would have loved to have gone against like
Marcus Allen.
LT. I think you would have wanted to go against LT.
That's pretty dope, but not LT. That's a good one. Not LT. I went against Marcus Lattimore when he was in college.
Okay. Emmitt Smith.
That's a good one, but not that old. The running back is not that old.
Did he retire recently?
Probably about 4 years ago. No, 6 years ago or 9 years ago.
Man, the only player that's coming to mind would be Reggie Bush.
No. His name is similar to mine.
Sean Alexander?
Yeah.
Beast
No.
Mode.
Oh,
Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't get a chance to go against him when he was in Oakland?
No, I went in the league when I got to
That's
the
right.
league.
Yeah, he wasn't.
That's right.
Like that's one running back I wanted to go against just because he's really a beast mode. Like the stuff he be doing to players.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I would love to go against him. That's one player I would love to go against. And
That'd be
then
sick.
just spin off that, running back for the Broncos now.
AJ Harvey.
RJ Harvey.
He runs just like Marshawn Lynch.
J.K. Dobbins.
Jaleel McLaughlin?
Nah, it's got to be Estime. Or
It
Javonte
popped my
Williams.
head. Yep, Williams. Javonte Williams.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, me and him were pretty tight, and obviously we practice against each other, but it's different going and practicing playing the game. Like just the way he run the ball, like making defensive players look like, oh man, like he runs just like Marshawn. Like I would have loved to go against him. Like we tight and stuff, but like I just love going against people who like really beast mode out there and like destroying players. So that would another been a good guy to play against. Just
how would you feel about going heads up against Ashton Genty?
That's a good one. But I don't really see him as like no beast mode like that. Like he's a real great running back. Like
I mean, he put a niner in the ground last week, so.
Yeah, but that ain't
Yeah, but
I think you have the size. You definitely have the size advantage for sure. I'm not saying you do that to you at all.
But I still think he should have won the Heisman though. He's a beast now. But he a baby still. I'm a grown man.
You'd like to welcome him to the league. That's what I'm hearing.
That'd be a great story. That'd be a great story. And then when you do that, you come back and you let us know how that experience was.
Hey, you never know. We could be teammates, man.
Absolutely. I'd love to see that.
I done reached out to the Raiders and talked with a couple coaches over there, so we might be
You
Raider Nation.
You would kill it in Patrick Graham's defense for sure.
That would be gross. I'd be happy for you.
Yeah.
Shoot, and then I take on that personality, all black, turned up in that. I take on that.
You look good in it.
So you mentioned you and Javonte were pretty tight, but were there any other Broncos players that you kind of leaned on in Denver while you were getting acclimated to the NFL?
I don't know. I feel like the Broncos locker room was a pretty chill locker room. Like I was tight with quite a few guys, but like I would say the guys who I was like more closer to, obviously, it always end up this way. Running backs and linebackers, obviously, because we compete against each other all the time. So Devontae Booker, we was real tight, and then to this day, me and Royce Freeman, we still communicate. And then obviously Josie Jewell, like we playing right beside each other, so we got to be tight. Our children got to play with each other and stuff like that. And then one guy who I admire, just the way he carries himself is Joe Jones. Him just the way he carries himself as a man and stuff like that. I definitely love that. He's family man. But I can name off the list of other guys who's like I'm pretty cool with. Like I can hit them up to this day, and we'll stick. Often we might don't talk every day, but hit them up to this day, and then we can just chop it up and like be cordial and pretty tight. So
yeah.
Who was the best trash talker you played with?
The best trash talker. Yeah, that's a good question there. The best trash talker. Oh, who was it? I don't know, but when you said trash talker, the first person that popped in my head was Kareem Jackson.
Oh,
yeah.
He didn't really have to talk much trash, but the wood he be laying on folks, like that's enough right there in itself, boy. Like just take him out. So yeah, I was like that popped in my head when you say trash talker, just because he be laying folks out.
Yeah, he was like that too.
Man.
Oh, most
I miss
definitely.
it. I miss that kind of football.
So do I.
Like, we need you back. We need to bring a little bit of that back.
Man, hey, yeah, go ahead and tell them give me a buzz. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, get your veteran in the locker room. I pick up the plays like this. You know. Go to
Yeah,
practice one day, I'll be ready to play in the game next. I'm definitely in shape.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
we're
we
gonna
saw
keep
that.
putting it into the universe, man. That's what we're gonna keep doing.
Absolutely.
Last question for you.
For me,
Yeah.
we're gonna ask the helmet to the ribs.
Sure.
All right. Well, we're gonna skip that. I'm gonna ask the one that I like to ask all of our guests because we kind of like to get to know you a little bit more beyond the football field and all of that, right? We kind of just want a glimpse to see who AJ Johnson is. So what we like to ask is, when people hear the name AJ Johnson or Alexander Johnson or Beast, any of that stuff, when they hear that name, what do you hope people think of?
Well, literally just being here back in Knoxville, obviously people randomly come up to me and be like, hey, AJ. And it's like, they always say resilient or like persistent. And that's like one of the things I really pride myself on is like, man, keep going, being resilient, being persistent. So that's one thing that, it's pretty dope when people's like, man, you overcame so much, man. You motivated me just to keep pushing and keep going forward. So that right there, when I hear that, it's like, man, thank you. Like that's one of my models, man. Just keep pushing, keep going forward. So that was pretty dope when people come up to me randomly saying that. So that's pretty live. But like outside of football, man, I love being outdoors. Love playing with my children. Um, and then also I'm sitting right here in Knoxville downtown, and so side note, if anybody who's doing Pilates, my wife's starting Forte Fitness out here in Knoxville, Tennessee. So I'll go give her a follow on Instagram. And then if you like hemp derived things, go check out Bestia Balloons
Okay.
on Instagram as well. So just man, and try to enjoy life as much as possible. But the biggest thing is, man, I'm really trying to get back to ball. Like I want to play 3 more seasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I got a lot left in me I got a lot left in the gas tank. So man, I just get that one opportunity, man, and then I'm gonna run with it.
Right on. We're gonna end on this one last question, and again, we're gonna keep putting out in the universe that you get back on an NFL roster and back on Sundays because we love seeing you on Sundays. But with, of course, the having to go through the injuries, obviously waiting essentially for the next opportunity, what's the support system look like to keep you grounded, to make sure that you don't discourage yourself, and what does that look like? And then how do you parse that off to somebody that might also be in the same boat as you about being patient for your next opportunity?
I would say, man, just surround yourself with people who believe in you, who's uplift you. Like literally, like people I know, they know I'm still on the hunt. They be like, man, you gonna do it. It's like when you hear somebody telling you you're gonna do it or you're gonna make it, that always give you. I can hear the motorcycle. That's why I stopped talking.
That's all good. We appreciate that, actually.
But just when you got people around you who's uplift what you want to go and push for, always helps. So never try to be around negative people. Or obviously you're gonna have negative people around you. You're gonna hear stuff, but try to watch that out and always look for the positive thing. And one of my biggest things is, man, believe in yourself, trust in God, and anything is possible. Always believe in yourself and trust in God, and then manifest. Like, man, manifest and speak about what you want to happen in this world, and truly believe it, and it comes to fruition.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know I'm a Chiefs fan, so it might be weird saying this, but I really do hope to see you back on the field, even if it's in Kansas City or not. I know even when you were at the Broncos, I enjoyed watching you play, your energy, the passion, and my favorite, the physical style that you played with. Just as a football fan, put the Chiefs-Broncos rivalry aside, can always appreciate the style and passion you play with. So we do hope that we see you on the football field again. We're going to keep putting that into the universe until it happens. So we appreciate you sharing that with us. We really do.
Man, thank y'all very much. My bad. I just had a couple people yelling my name out loud. I should have put him on the podcast, man.
That'd have been dope.
I was this close to doing it, but we closing out. But no, Josh, man, thank y'all for having me on, and man, it's pretty dope what y'all got going. Like just the different rivalries of different teams and supporting different teams and stuff like that's pretty dope, man. So thank y'all for having me on, and glad I was able to get on. Wish I could have had more time, but it's about time for me to go in on the steak. That's what it's been sitting from my Facebook.
That's really good. Well, we're gonna let you go and enjoy.
Yeah, we're not gonna keep you.
Yeah, you've earned it, and we'd love to have you back on when we can free up your schedule, of course, and then we'll have more time to talk football and let us know how your journey is getting back in the league. We'd love to keep track of it and love to keep supporting you. Okay.
Hey, one thing I've been telling myself to be pretty dope to do is do like film breakdown, because like I don't really like watch football like that, but when I watch it, it's more for a film breakdown. So I wouldn't mind just doing like a little film breakdown on just.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're gonna take you up on that. We're gonna take you up on that.
Yeah, don't give us that, because we will definitely use you for that. But we appreciate you, AJ. All
Thanks,
right, I
AJ.
appreciate you, sir.
Thanks, AJ.
Man, he was a great guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, for real. Like
Man,
I
he's
said,
still trying to get in the league, guys.
Yeah, I wonder what
He
teams
should.
could. What teams do you think he could really like use?
Denver.
And
All of them.
well, no, we're not gonna. No, not the Broncos. No,
But
We
I
don't-
want to
they
see.
don't
I
need
want
a-
to see 45 back in orange and blue. So
they don't. They don't need another guy
Cody,
like that.
let's be honest though. Like with his story and his journey and everything, though, it would kind of feel right for him to be back in Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so hold on, because who's the DC right now of the Eagles? It's still Fangio, right?
No, we ain't doing for the Eagles. Get that out of
Well,
here.
hold on. Nick Fangio,
Blasphemy.
he was the one that helped bring him up to where he played his best under that. Can you see the Eagles in that system getting another defensive player like AJ? I think so.
Yes, and
It would make sense.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the Eagles are. I mean, they have good linebackers right now, and system familiarity. Yes.
Opportunity is probably not there.
Whereas
Well,
Denver
he
has
just-
two starting linebackers between Greenlaw and Singleton, who we don't know how healthy they are at this moment, right? Like I know
Mhm.
Greenlaw and Singleton both got some reps in this week of practice, but I think the bond that he was able to build with Broncos country in the two and a half seasons that he was able to see the field
Mhm.
with that would be a nice little jolt to an already pretty good defense, and someone who, I think the younger players would lean on that. That's a great story that he has. I think he would be really good for Jonah Ellis, Q Robinson, Savion, those guys that we drafted this year that, guys that, were really good in college, but, they're waiting for their opportunities. So, I mean, any of the teams are going to be lucky to have a guy with a high energy like that. But I think with a team with some younger players on the defensive side of football that, could really use a mentor like that, and a guy who's been literally through it all.
Mhm.
I think that would be a good fit for him.
But we don't want to cap it, right? We just want to see him back on the field.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
Any and all teams are welcome. I think he would make any team in that locker room that much better. I was actually just thinking, so just even outside of our division, I would say like Tennessee Titans could really use someone like him with that young defense, and having him who understands, run stopping. They could use a veteran leader like that in that locker room to help stabilize, especially having like a Cam Ward being in there.
I'm actually thinking from like a young team plus a coach combination, get him on the Patriots.
I was just thinking that Mike Vrabel and that young defense. Yeah.
And Vrabel would
Even
absolutely
Houston.
need that.
Houston could probably use them too, with D'Amico Ryans,
Yep.
Literally, there's so many teams that would have him. Even the New York Jets might even use somebody like him with what's the new head coach, Aaron Glenn now, defensive specialist. He could really use him on that linebacker side in New York. That would be a really good spot for him too.
Man, give him this energy with Dan Campbell, though. That might be too much for one locker room, but
I mean, he says he has 3 seasons left, and there's no doubt in my mind that he
every bit of it.
He could do it.
I think if he gets on a team like a Dan Campbell with the Lions, I think with a defensive team that has good enough young pieces to where he is being a veteran voice in that locker room, but he's not like an every down kind of guy. I think 3, maybe even 4, depending on,
If you see his training videos, he's got a solid
oh my
Yeah.
God, dude, he is so, oh my gosh, I can't even fathom right now. He's a unit. So
his work. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, Matt, go ahead.
I would say his work ethic is phenomenal. Like the fact that he's like, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not just going to run after the ball. I'm going to run after you, and I'm going to keep going. Like, I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah.
So like, I love that work ethic, that mentality. So.
Well, and we have to be honest. The NFL, it needs a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
It needs a guy like him, and it needs a guy like him to train or be around some of the younger people to teach that kind of mentality. Because we've all watched plenty of games now where you can tell people aren't running to make a tackle. They're kind of running to kind of dive at you a little bit.
Yeah.
And, no, not AJ. He's like, I'm running to you because I'm going to get you.
Well, and not only that, but you need a player like that that's going to make that offensive player think twice before thinking he can challenge the teeth of a defense. You need a player like that that's going to put his will and enforce his, lay the wood down on somebody. Obviously, without getting kicked out of the game. We're not trying to be egregious here, but enough to where like that whatever receiver, running back, whoever comes through the middle or tries to think that they have that gap and he closes that space on him, we got to make them think. Yeah.
I definitely think he'd give Marshawn a run for his money. I think that would be a good matchup.
I do. This comment kind of stood out. NJ 2 times. Thanks again for the comment. He talked about the whole MMA, training for it and doing some of that. And he said that was absolutely made NFL training camps and NFL stuff kind of like a breeze.
Yeah.
If you go back earlier in the episode, he was talking about, what 15 minutes was good enough for him. And, and then that's kind of when he made the comment of, hey, yeah, MMA training in the NFL kind of, it makes the NFL look like it's pretty easy. But he also wanted everyone to know that, Vic Fangio camp and how Vic Fangio did everything. He called it callous, right? Like old school, intentional. So while there are some similarities, maybe to us, to him, it was more of the NFL was definitely a little bit more of a cakewalk than the old MMA training. So do you guys have anything else before I was going to kind of preview? We have the Chiefs playing tonight.
No, even before this episode, I would hope we could see a guy like AJ play. But after the episode, I don't want to see a guy like AJ. I just want to see AJ playing in some, even if it's in Denver. And like the game's just a better place with him in it, right?
Yeah.
His story, his passion, everything. So that's all. We're gonna all keep putting it into the universe, I hope.
And then I want you guys to make sure that when you guys reach back and you talk to him, because obviously we want the film breakdown. That's awesome. But I also want to make sure that we provide links to everybody for his wife's studio that's getting ready to open.
Yep.
And we'll make sure to get some of that stuff posted, and make sure you guys go follow his wife's studio. Let's get that, let's show an impact. Let's show why we do this show and show that we do have a good following of people that, again, guys, it's great. We want this show not only to meet the players, but their outside part. And, with his wife getting ready to open up a studio, I want to make sure that we make that known and put our impact on that. So, we can show that, we are kind of getting our show where we want this. And it's been a great, 2.5 months now for us. So, Maddie, I think you had something.
Oh, I was just going to say, like he had said earlier at the beginning of the show, there's not a lot of stories like his that are out there where, he had that big gap from college, and then he finally got his chance in the NFL. When he did get to the NFL, he still had to wait, and he just never gave up on it. And, like I said, he turned obstacles into success. And that was just kind of like amazing to hear that story, that he just never, it was the worst part of his life, and he still found a way to push through it. So,
And having such a positive attitude about it too, to where, again, like what he answered with us about his support system, just surrounding himself with people that love and support him. And that's what helps him keep going. And what he would share with everybody, which is what he shared with us, is just, patience and getting through it and just staying positive and, making sure that you put in the work, which is everything that he is doing. And, just like what Jeff has said in our comments, and also everybody else too, he's a true inspiration. So definitely rooting for a player like AJ to find a home on a team, because we believe, at least I do, he'll make an impact on the locker room and on the field for sure.
Absolutely.
And I just want to finish on what my brother was saying about, supporting his wife's studio that's about to open and everything else that we'll put out there. Like yes, we're kind of doing this as fans of football, but our end goal is to be people helping people, right? We're a group of guys here who want to help a guy like AJ and anything that he supports and is dabbling into. So we're going to flood the socials with his wife's studio that's opening up. Let's all make sure we just go and just waves and support and help that opening whenever it is opening. So just be on the lookout for things like that, because in the end, we just want to be people helping people.
Exactly.
Yep.
Let's dive into the Chiefs real quick. They have their final preseason game tonight. Everyone is wrapping up preseason tomorrow, I believe.
Yep.
I got my days of the week kind of mixed up with not being at work today, so bear with me. So the Chiefs are currently up 20-3 with a minute 54 left in the second. So let's run down the scoring. Isaiah Pacheco, 2 yards out, put him up 7-0. And then Butker had a 31-yard field goal, made it 10-0. Patrick Mahomes, Rashee Rice for 4 yards and a touchdown, made it 17-0. And then Santos hit a 28-yard field goal, 17-3. Harrison Butker, 23-yard field goal. So it's 20-3. One thing I did want to note is my brother had mentioned the other night of Thornton, the receiver for the Chiefs. He has a catch for 58 yards, so he was getting some run with the ones. Obviously, with Sky Moore, who we talked about the other night, getting traded over to the 49ers. I think my brother was pretty adamant and almost kind of spot on with Thornton might be that final guy, that final piece of the receiver room. So one catch, 58 yards for him. Chiefs still up 20-3.
Let's hear for the Chiefs, guys. Come on.
But Caleb Williams just hit Roma Dunze for a big gain. So it's first and goal from the Chiefs 3. For our Bears fans, which there's probably not any watching if they are. Caleb Williams is 10 of 14 for 110. So that's kind of back-to-back pretty decent showings for him. Obviously, they'd want more points for that. Yeah, I'm just happy the preseason's finally over.
Finally.
Yeah.
Maddie, obviously, Sky Moore traded, but Denver obviously trades Vele, who we were kind of I don't know if we necessarily saw this move happening. Any initial thoughts on Devon getting traded over to the Saints?
Yeah, like you said, I didn't see it coming, but questions definitely started to rise as preseason was going on, because Vele only really played one game in the preseason, and then he never got any reps after that. And as he's kind of sitting on the sideline, here's Pat Bryant, and he's showing off his talents. Troy Franklin is light years ahead of where he was a season ago. Marvin Mims already solidified his spot, and Cortland Sutton is Cortland Sutton. So now it's like, you want to give these younger guys a chance, and I kind of get it. Vele is 26, going on 27, and you want to see, and Peyton did say, last season he wants to go young and hungry. So, I mean, I kind of see the reason for the move. I'm still kind of a little mixed feelings about it, because I did like Vele. I liked what he was able to do, especially on third down. He was Bo Nix's guy on third down. So, I'm still kind of 50-50 on it, but I get it.
Yeah, and Sean Payton talked today, I think it was today, about this. You're always going to have those moves that are difficult. This was one of the 10% that was just really difficult just based on the player. But again, there's no reason to keep a guy if you don't think he's going to be let him go, let him fly, right? He's going to do fine in New Orleans. There's no doubt in my mind that Kellen Moore is going to know how to do what he does with Vele. But at the same time, Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, strap up. This is literally your time. You see this guy move on, that's basically saying, hey, you guys are it. You guys can't mess this up. And, I don't think it was a premature trade. I think there's always a plan when it comes to Sean and what he's trying to do. But time will tell, right? We're going to see early on, outside of the Titans game, which let's not sleep on the Titans. They still have a good defense, but we're going to find out right away what the plans are with the whole receiving core.
Yeah, and I'd like to just recap the Raiders if I can. Cody, are you okay with that?
Probably
the floor
not,
is yours.
but
The floor is yours, my friend. Go ahead.
All right, so here's our recap and readiness for the Raiders.
oh man,
That's it.
Damn. Let's
man.
Here I thought you were going to give rave reviews as you always have for
Yeah.
majority of this offseason, and there you go in Austin fashion. So
No, not when you're trying to lure our boy AJ over to your side. Let's not.
you
do
cannot doubt that he would look great in silver and black, and he would
Nobody
be
does.
a great
Well,
fit for that
jokes on
defense.
you. Joke's on you. I'm colorblind, so he looks great no matter where he plays. All right.
let's the Chargers wrap up theirs with the 49ers. The Chargers are starting Trey Lance this last game.
And the season.
Not the season. Guys, I guess there's still a lot of questions out there with the Chargers, and I don't necessarily know if they're going to answer them here in this final game.
Mhm.
And we won't spend too much time on this, but just looking through their preseason stats, Trey Lance leads their team in rushing with 14 carries for 81 yards. Again, it's preseason, so that's not indicative of what the regular season is going to look like for them. So be on the lookout for Trey Lance and his start with the Chargers to wrap it up. Cody, Raiders have the Cardinals.
Mhm.
What are some of what you're going to be hoping to see with this final tune-up before they head into week one?
AOC heavy.
AOC
Yeah,
heavy.
AOC to fight for his roster spot. Actually, I'm just hoping for a healthy game. Like I'm kind of on the fence of like, look, I'm glad we're going to do a week 3 of preseason. I know that Pete Carroll wants to run the starters again, which I think is fine. I do agree that if you do have some preseason games that are good and a healthy amount, that you have less of rust to kick off at the start of the season. I do believe that. But then at the same time, I would also then be frustrated if like Ashton Genty with a leg injury or a shoulder injury heading into the regular season for a meaningless preseason game. Yeah, I know, Meg, this guy over here. Anyways, but
Get out of this guy.
yeah, this dude. So anyways, what I do want to just make sure though is one, I want to see if there is like a good game plan that Chip Kelly puts together for this offense to really just showcase Geno Smith, Thornton, Besh, Myers. I actually want the Raiders to re-sign Myers. We're supposed to be negotiating an extension with them, and yet it seems like we're hung up on something which I don't understand, because Myers would be in a lot of teams like 1-1A receiver, and we really need that veteran presence and his skill set on that team. So I hope that the Raiders do that, but I would like to see the run blocking come together. I want to see more cohesion with the offensive line. And then, unfortunately, I need to see what this defense is going to look like as constructed, because I know the Raiders have been rumored to try to go after Trey Hendrickson. I don't know if he's going to make all the world the difference, because really the help is in the back, in the secondary is what we need. But I want to see if there's a game plan to where we have a better showing than what we did against like Seattle and the Niners, because we're going to be a team that scores a lot of points but gives up a ton of points, and I need to see a little bit of resistance on the defensive side.
Yeah, that was a laundry list the Raiders need to work on, my guy.
That was a CVS receipt.
No. The rolling credits, my goodness. But no, a lot of good points. You were right. I think Trey Hendrickson would help a little bit, but you're spot on. The secondary is where it's at. So I think that's a good thing to watch for the final game, right? Too. How are they going to look? Like, are they at least going to look game ready? So I think your points were absolutely spot on, though.
It's one of those where I'm nervous when I see the starters out there for that last game, because then it's like, okay, like, what do you really think? I get it, but at the same time, like, is it really worth it? I kind of felt the same with Evan Ingram on the field last game. I was kind of like, well, I mean, what are we doing here? Like, he's still on the field. Like, I get it. Like, but the guy who is coming off an injury-filled season last year, yes, it was cool to see the big catch, but okay, get his ass out. Like, we don't need to see this, right? So it's always nerve-wracking this final weekend. And, I mean, stay healthy. Let's get into week 1 already.
Yeah, let's get to some meaningful football. But I think Cody will take us home. But before we do that, I want to make sure, again, to go follow AJ, go support AJ, watch this comeback that he's about to have. And then make sure you're on the lookout for all of the links and socials and everything else that we're going to post for his wife's studio that's going to open up. We want to show that, people really can help people. So we're going to support AJ, his wife, with them and the comeback and the opening of the studio as much as we can. And let's all just root for AJ, right?
Yeah. 100%.
As a fan and as a football player, as a football fan, as a person, let's just make it happen, guys.
We're just people helping people.
Yes, sir. And I'd like to say next week's going to be slower, but it's not. We have 2 great guests next week. Tuesday, we'll have Couch Coach Live. We'll talk some Commanders football, preview some of the Commanders season since the Commanders are on the AFC West schedule this year. Cody, you finally have your Raider on Wednesday. David Amerson, former Raider. Right. Cody will finally get a Raiders person on our show. I know he's going to be super stoked about that.
They do exist.
There's actually plenty of them out there. They're just so popular that they're on other people's shows, but we're working on it.
We're working on
you and the crowd.
No, I think that's what was the team that we declared that was? Because there's
the Chargers. We said the Chargers.
That's right. No shade to the Chargers. There's
absolute shade at the Chargers.
Maybe a little shade.
Okay.
So much.
Absolute shade. So again, thanks to everybody in the comments tonight. You guys were killing it. So that's what we love to see. Cody, I'm going to give it over to you.
All right, guys. So we do have another programming note. We did cross over the 100 subscribers threshold. We do have a giveaway plan. Please check out us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We will be posting when we will be having our giveaway, so stay tuned for that. If you want to be a part of the giveaway, you need to subscribe to YouTube, and we will give you more instructions on how to get in more entries, so that way you guys get the giveaway prize, which we'll announce later on. So definitely do that. We want to give a couple of big shout outs, especially the biggest one, to our big sponsor, JBW Solutions, veteran owned, community driven, safety focused. Jeff and his team, they've been wonderful partners, amazing friends of the show. Jeff is really active in the comments, and he's really good about keeping in touch with us about how we can help him and how what we're doing is helping his company as well. So please go and support Jeff at JBW Solutions. Austin, you have a question?
No, I just wanted to say, you know what, Cody? I concur.
I concur.
Which brings me to my next point.
Yes. Yes. But my next point is we're also going to give a huge shout out to Emporia State Federal Credit Union. Great first partners of ours that, Austin and Corey introduced us to Angie. Her and her team have been phenomenal to work with. They just had a really phenomenal back to school fundraiser that they put on. We shared that on our channel. So please go support them. All their information is linked down below. We also want to give a huge thank you to Troy with Field Ops in Kansas. Great partners as well. Again, all their information to connect with them, so that way you guys can benefit from their offerings to help support us and support our friends. We encourage that. And again, one last thing, go support Spy Optic. We kicked off the show with talking about the shades. Matt's got a pair right there. We all have a pair. Use Orange 20 to get your pair, though, on spyoptic.com. Highly encourage. Best sunglasses I've ever worn, hands down. So that's for me.
Energy drink companies, come on. We need Matt and I need an energy drink.
Stop leaving me on red.
Yes.
Real quick on Spy Optic, Meg, if you're still watching the show, we did talk to Spy and ask if they shipped internationally. Unfortunately, they don't, but they are going to look and see if there's a local distributor in your area so you can get your own pair.
Yeah. We'll be working hard to make sure that we can find a way to get you a pair, though, for sure, because we definitely want you guys to have these shades. But again, go to spyoptic.com, use promo code ORANGE20 to get your self a pair of sunglasses and get 20% off. Lastly, guys, this is for us. Please go and subscribe to the War Room YouTube channel. All of the social media links all down below: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. These 3 gentlemen that I share the screen work are some of the hardest working humans behind the scenes that do everything from booking guests, that get us prepared with rundowns, everything in between. These guys right here are working their tails off, even on days off when they're out golfing, they're working, Corey. But anyways, we want to give a huge shout out to you guys for being such great fans. And we hope to have you guys on this journey while we are growing the War Room, because it's been a ton of fun and we have so much more in the pipeline. You guys don't even know. We haven't even scratched the surface yet. So subscribe so that way you guys are up to speed on everything. Does anyone have anything lastly before I close this out?
Go AJ.
Go AJ.
Go AJ.
Go AJ.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning into the War Room. We'll see you guys next week.